Star of Sister Wives Janelle Brown made a shocking revelation. Savanah Brown and Kody Brown haven't seen one another in over a year. She said Savanah assured her it's all right and that she would make sure things were friendly but fleeting if Kody ever wanted to see her. Hurt. Janelle reiterated that Kody hasn't made an attempt to see Savanah this year, but she noted that her daughter is gradually coming to terms with it, obviously trying not to show too much irritation. Savanah went so far as to say, "My brothers will walk me down the aisle." While Janelle was calmly thanking her sons for standing up for Savanah, you could just feel the resentment bubbling beneath the surface. Welcome back to the TLC Flicks. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up. This really gets to Robyn. She should be so proud of herself for supporting Savanah's unresponsive father. The irony of turning around and supporting Kody, the ultimate indiscretion himself, while distancing your own children from their biological father and complaining about how difficult it is to cope with a deadbeat is unfathomable. The hypocrisy sickens me. Especially Savanah makes me feel something. She's so reserved, so soft-spoken, that I can't think of a single instance in which she's betrayed her father in any way. And yet he treats her as if she doesn't exist just because she's not one of Robyn's children. For this alone, Kody should be dragged through the mud. Ignore his extensive list of other terrible actions. Her brothers are a blessing. At least she can rely on them. Robyn Brown, star of Sister Wives, is not to be trusted. Yes, she did tell Kody to give his kids one call. But at this point, people are genuinely beginning to feel bad for her. Remember that she was a major factor in the dissolution of this family. She enjoys being in charge and is cunning and self-centered. We even heard the entire Ariella story straight from Kody's mouth. No matter how many tears she spills, I still want Kody to make amends with his family. Years ago, she ought to have advocated for that. She must own her actions, learn from them, and cope with her guilt. She is a witch dressed as a sheep, but she is unable to portray Kody as the big bad wolf and play the victim. She pushed Kody to keep things hidden from his other spouses from the beginning. Remember the controversy around the wedding dress in Season 1? Kody made a lighthearted game out of disobeying the family norms and letting the spouses think one thing while acting differently behind their backs when they were courting Robyn. Then, when Kody didn't keep it a secret, she had the gall to get upset. Not that she was formally a member of the family yet. While it's true that Kody bears the majority of the blame for the family's disintegration, she entered the relationship with no regard for his previous marriages, his kids, or the guidelines that kept the family together, and she never once made an effort to end his partiality. Because it benefited her, she had supported it. The kids themselves very much verified it last season. One of the main causes of the family's breakdown was Robyn. Fans were both heartbroken and incensed. They were also glad that the kids were no longer filling in for Kody and Robyn, as well as happy that their theories were finally being verified. But fast forward to the present, when everyone seems to have forgotten the true suffering we witnessed from those kids in the previous season and the preceding 18, following one blatantly staged scene in which Robyn tells Kody to make amends with his kids because she is losing respect for him. Instead, people are supporting her, arguing that she shouldn't be held accountable because she wasn't married to the other characters. Really? She's been accused of manipulation for years, and now it seems that she's attempting to control the audience as well. Refrain from falling for it. Kody would be blowing up at her the same way he did with Christine and Janelle if this were real. He's aware that she is the devoted wife, therefore he's not though. The secret and the falsehoods hold the key. Right here. Particularly considering that it began before they were even hitched, this is some extremely dubious behavior. She watched the planned battle play out while entering that household with deceit and little regard for what had previously been established. I was limited to just one. She. When Sister Wives actress Robyn outright refused to let Mary to throw a neutral Christmas Eve party and invite everyone, where was all this kindness? Really? Where was that spirit during Isabel's surgery, when she needed her dad so badly, or later when she needed assistance getting well? And let's not forget the sweet text conversations. Oh, how wonderful those were. When they got the B&B, Robyn didn't even have Kody stop by to meet Savanah. Where was her care then? Recall her outburst in which she claimed that the kids knew that everything they were doing was a phony replica of the genuine thing. She expressed such concern at the time, don't you think? Well, but now it's all about how she felt excluded from a few events together with her children. Play the melancholy violin. She doesn't want Ari and Sol involved in the wedding, therefore it makes sense that she is anxious about attending. What fears does she have? A fully blown chair that threw fights, drank, and sprayed people. She sat there, watching as a bunch of people who had once put up with her foolishness went on with their lives, unconcerned with her sentiments, refusing to include her now. In actuality, Kody's reactions had more to do with her feelings of insecurity than the kids. Come on, Robyn, why don't you stand up and assure your children that their mothers and other children do not despise them? By acting like a victim, how are you actually fostering understanding in this situation? Whoa, that's a big deal. Parties ignored me. Doesn't quite cut it, and let's discuss her current situation. Janelle and Christine have disclosed that Kody hardly interacts with the majority of the children in the past 48 hours. The one thing we can all agree on is that Robyn is a liar. She would arrange for Kody to meet his kids if she truly wanted it to happen. That power belongs solely to her. I strongly doubt she has any empathy for Kody's children, considering how cruel she has been to her own children, depriving them of their biological father and his family as well as their adopted siblings. She is nothing more than a homewrecker. Furthermore, it's quite the show to watch Sister Wives star Robyn Brown go from acting as the victim of rejection to lamenting a family breakdown. After Christine departed, she bemoaned for 2 full seasons how heartbroken she was about the family's disintegration and how difficult it was for her to accept the circumstances. Cry like a river. She suddenly stated that, despite her best efforts, she was never really embraced by the family. If this were the case, then why did she spend so much time grieving the breakup? Like Kody, who transitions from being distraught about the loss of these relationships. And let's not even talk about Robyn's insincere praises. She enjoys showing off how fortunate Kody is to be around the overweight, dilapidated, stretch-marked women. She almost seems to be congratulating herself on her excellent man selection. You can be sure she would be sobbing uncontrollably in a corner if someone had the audacity to respond to that passive-aggressive gem. Alert, while Kody, the knave heart, would swear she was just giving him compliments. How charming. And then there's that embarrassing scene where Robyn, only 17 seconds after giving birth herself, offers to be Mary's surrogate. It was, to be honest, the height of arrogant superiority, a hideous spectacle that nearly cried out, "Look at me! What you cannot accomplish, I can." Furthermore, I'll be honest, I never thought I'd say this, but I'm beginning to worry about Robyn Brown. Kody's obsession with her is complete. Mary can't even attend Thanksgiving, since it would sabotage the adorable feeling of Kody and Robyn as a married couple. He refuses to make amends with his children for fear that they would say anything bad about Robyn. He can't stand to be apart from her. He can't even go see his grandchildren. It seems like Robyn is the center of his whole existence. He no longer has anything to discuss with Savanah. There's a burgeoning rumor that Robyn may fire him in the event that the program concludes or the money runs out. To be honest, that's what worries me. If that were to occur, I could definitely see Kody losing his cool. After all, he does have a lot of guns. But wait a minute. It's not precisely the fixation you believe it to be. Although Robyn is Kody's love interest, let's face it, he's using her as a scapegoat. Saying things like, "I can't talk to my kids because they don't like Robyn," or "I can't go to the other houses because Robyn needs me" is so easy for him to pull off. Robyn is exempt from having to deal with anything else if everything is about him. Clearly, his affection is conditional. That so-called love will vanish faster than a desert mirage the moment Robyn ceases to be of value to him. Also, after witnessing this new irate Kody, though I doubt it, I'm very sure Robyn wishes she could break free from him. She just doesn't seem to have the fortitude and resilience of the other women, at least until her elder kids can take her in and provide her with the help she so urgently needs. How would she ever manage herself and the kids, she's stuck with him. But Sister Wives star Kody Brown says, "I don't want to disparage my former faith. Just in case you forgot what disparage means, let me explain. It all comes down to treating something with contempt or as though it has little value. You know, it was really honorable of him to draw that distinction even though it was obvious that he didn't deserve it." The shocking part, though, is that Kody Brown immediately labels it a classic move after announcing his intention to maintain elegance. To be fair, he's not entirely wrong. His faith is ridiculous, in my opinion as well. But come on, Kody. Do you even hear yourself trying to appreciate it one moment and discarding it like last week's leftovers the next? I'm wondering if you truly comprehend what you're saying, #GD. Yes, I realize that he doesn't have the best faith. But isn't the timing of his conversion a little too perfect? It's as if his views have suddenly become unsuitable for him, and he decides to give them up. It's funny how, as everyone else's labor padded the coffers of his favorite wife's home, he was fully committed to the same belief system. Well done, Mr. Brown. You've shown everyone who doubted your way of life and religious beliefs wrong. I hope you enjoy that journey. Furthermore, what have I done that these kids have betrayed me for? Kody Brown bemoans and then says, "The only thing I'm guilty of is loving her, Robyn, and not loving their mother." As if he's been waiting for a dramatic conclusion. Excuse me, but you are guilty of that. What kind of deranged logic makes you think that's appropriate? Sincerely, what actions did any of those mothers or children take to merit such an epiphany? There's no justification for it at all. Even if they had acted improperly, a good parent would never say such things, especially if he was worried his kids would hear them. How upsetting must that be for any child to hear, in your opinion? They will naturally go into protective mode for their mother. What a dumb move it was for him to claim on national television that he never loved their mothers. But he still can't seem to move on from those divorces. Though only on his terms, Kody desires a relationship with his children. He anticipates being treated like a god and being respected by them. Clearly he doesn't. Consider them to be human. All they are in his game are pawns. In all honesty, it seems as though he is anxious to win them over, and his egotistical nature finds it intolerable that the majority of the children are devoted to Christine. And here's another reason why you're disliked by your kids, Kody. I'm just watching the terribly contrived attempt by TLC to make Tweedledee and Tweedledum a little less disgusting, which took place last week. Furthermore, it's evident how bloated Kody's narcissism and ego truly are. With the exception of Robyn, of course, he openly admitted to all of his wives, after more than 25 years of marriage, that he had never truly fallen in love with them and that they should accept this and go on. You can be sure the kids learned about it. If he said something like that about my mother merely stating, and he had the gall to imply his kids betrayed him, I would also despise him. Even if we accept the theory that he didn't love Mary, Janelle, or Christine, and I firmly doubt that he ever loved any of the original three. Get out of here with that. How could he have ever said anything so damaging? Naturally, Kody didn't think about how his children would react to that rhetorical question because he obviously doesn't have the capacity or desire to care about anyone's feelings other than his own and the manipulative crybabies who missiled him. The promo for next week features Kody, who is the worst, declaring that all he's going to do is pray for Robyn and himself. He's not asking God to help him patch things up with his kids. His friendship with Robyn is his only concern. How is he not aware of the damage his remarks cause? Shaking my head, I scrolled through Savanah's recent post about her brothers escorting her down the aisle as he said he wanted to be back in his kid's life. For a second, let's be honest. Apologies. Take off your gloves. That's because her father, a lazy ass, can't even bring himself to be present for his own daughter. Hunter was the name that truly stood out to me as I read through the responses. Classic. Although Savanah's brothers are all involved in her life, it reminded me of the time when Hunter was a young child suffering from depression and the family had moved to Vegas. At the time, he had found some comfort in visiting Christine, which felt like a sign for what was to come for the rest of his adolescence. It's terrible since Hunter deserved a carefree upbringing, but he's come a long way since graduating from high school. He has supported her during her spinal surgery like a lacy bull. Showed up on the East Coast for Maddie and her family. And who can forget the scene at Garrison's memorial? So heartbreaking. Janelle needed emotional support badly, and he was like a rock for her, sitting there with his chair pointing toward hers. Even though I'm probably reading too much into those situations, they form a picture. Hunter's post-high school trajectory has been entirely positive. While each of the original children is a rock for their family, my attention is currently mostly on Hunter. I've always felt Hunter was a good guy, but seeing him assist Isabel during her operation really made me believe that he's one of the greatest. He has undoubtedly developed into a remarkable man. Let's face it, Kody should be proud of his sons. To put it another way, Kody is merely jealous of Hunter, as he feels inadequate in comparison. And let's not overlook the fact that Hunter supported Gabe during their relocation to Flagstaff. When we moved to Vegas, he was like, "Hey, I've been through this too." Just one more instance of his attempts to fill the role of the encouraging brother that Kody never had. So let's celebrate Hunter. He stands out in this tumultuous family circus for sure. But I truly hope someone would simply take Kody aside and ask him, "Would it really hurt your children if I said I wasn't in love with your mothers?" It says something like, "Hi." This is a really clear question. We're all very much in agreement that Kody is crazy for insisting on this point, especially in light of all the reasons his kids have to be angry and hurt by him. However, even by his own reasoning, it is incoherent. He kept moaning in the last episode, "What went wrong with me?" If we accept that at face value, as if that's his only error, how can he not realize that it hurts his children to hear that? All I did was stop being hopelessly infatuated with their mothers. It's perplexing. I wish someone would force him to consider the possibilities. His father had openly stated that he had only ever truly loved Janelle's mother, Kody's second wife, and that he had never loved Kody's mother. Is he really so sure that would have no bearing on his feelings toward his father? Come on, I mean. Upon rewatching, I couldn't help but take note of Robyn's accusations that she and her priceless tenders were treated so horribly by everyone. Then, she later sobs about missing her family around the holidays. This is the family who, allegedly, avoided you and your children for 10 years. People, it makes sense, because you're telling me that you want to share all of your memorable memories with them. Perhaps her new PR team can help her sort through those falsehoods. The worst part is that she said she wanted Kody to adopt her children so that at least the family would look after them in the event of her death. However, why would you want your children to grow up with a family that you claim never welcomed them? It's all a whole fabrication. Kody might adopt Soban's children without their union. That was all just bullshit. Mary was fed, and she was duped completely. This was really a ruse to establish Robyn as the husband's legal spouse. Eventually, though, Robyn and Kody will enjoy the rewards of their efforts. If you are looking for more Sister Wives gossip, come back to TLC Flicks for all your updates. Bye, guys.